Just win, baby. Commitment to excellence. The famed silver and black. The holy roller. Goes to the post. The immaculate reception. Time never really stops for the great ones.
Tales of greatness. Tales of legend. Tales that define our very existence as fans. Some tales are of epic proportion. Some tales are heartbreaking memories of missed opportunity. Raider Nation is full of these tales. Let's take a journey through the past and present and relive the Raiders' adventure in the NFL. Here's Swag Jeff and Murph coming to you live from the dungeons of Murph's Fan Cave.
The indestructible Jim Otto, George Blanda, the greatest clutch player the game has ever known, Willie Brown, the magnificent cornerback, Gene Upshaw, Ted Hendricks, and of course, the magnificent Art Shell. And then you take Tom Flores, the star player who coached us to 2 Super Bowls. Let me take you back a few years to Frank Ewell Field, to the Oakland Coliseum, to the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, relive the moments of the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. To those of us who saw you battle to the top, we will never forget you. You know, Raider football was always emotional. We loved to take those memorable trips throughout the league, and we were hated, we were feared, but we were respected.
These are our moments. These are our stories. These are Tales from the Nation.
What is up, Raider Nation? Your buddy Murph back once again for another episode of Tales from the Nation. And of course, can't do this show alone, so please welcome to Tales from the Nation, my good friend and yours from the southern annex of the Murph's Fan Cave desk, the one and only Swag Jeff.
Yo, what's going on, man?
Not much, man. Hey, so back again. So we've done now, this is the 4th installment of Tales from the Nation.
Yes.
And it's what we call evergreen content in the biz, Jeff. You don't have to listen to these in any particular order.
No.
Whenever.
Exactly.
This just happens to be the 4th one that we're doing, though. And we got another fun one today.
It is. Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one. It's a very heartfelt, hit you right in your feels, moment for a Raider fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's we're gonna be talking about Al.
We're going to be talking about Al today.
Yeah.
And now Al is a collective of moments, right? There
Yes.
is all of the moments of Raider Nation are all connected to Al in some way or fashion. But why we've felt this one was significant was that this was the first moment after he passed.
Yes, yeah, we're talking about the divine interception. October 8th, 2011, we lost Al. One day removed from that, we had a game.
We had a game. It ended in an incredible fashion, and I'm going to let Jeff tell you the details of that. But before we get to that, I do want to kind of set up Al's legacy a little bit. Now, look, anybody listening to this show is fully aware of the legacy of Al Davis.
Absolutely.
And so you don't need a couple of schmucks like us to tell you about the historical significance and obviously his impact on Raider Nation. So let's go to the Raiders themselves and listen to them kind of give us a little bit of a tribute to Al. This is a couple minutes of audio it basically sums it up about the importance of him and what his legacy and his imprint was and still remains, not only on the NFL, but of course the Oakland Raiders.
What's important to me is the legacy we leave, the greatness of the Raiders. I wanted to build the finest organization in professional sports. I wanted to have the greatest players. I wanted to have the greatest coaches. I wanted to play in the greatest games. I wanted to have the greatest plays. Obviously, I wanted to win more than anyone else.
Based on team achievement, personal achievement, and contributions to the game, no one has had a more profound and lasting impact on the game of professional football than Al Davis. Having been a scout, head coach, general manager, league commissioner, and owner, Al Davis possessed the ability to leverage his experiences like none other in the game's history.
Deep to Casper! Casper makes it over the shoulder catch!
The vertical game, a quick strike, take what we want offensive philosophy, and bump and run, an in-your-face pressure defense.
Intercepted by the Oakland Raiders, running back!
left behind a legacy of innovation that changed the sport forever. Standing firm in his beliefs with the courage of his conviction, he broke down barriers to give others opportunities. Tom Flores, the first Latino head coach in NFL history. Art Shell, the first African-American head coach in the modern era. Mr. Davis's bond with his players was unbreakable. His loyalty and compassion towards the men who played for him was exceptional. A record 9 players walked into football's immortality with Al Davis as their presenter. A place where his legacy will always be preserved.
The enshrinement is a reflection of a life's work, a reflection of a love affair with the greatest game the world has ever known. But this honor is a testament to a great organization and to all the capable people who have poured their talent, enthusiasm, loyalty into the greatness of the Raiders and the Raiders' legend and mystique.
His will to win is unsurpassed in the world of sports. His organization's commitment to excellence led to decades of dominance, including 3 Super Bowl victories, an AFL championship, 4 AFC championships, 14 championship game appearances, and 17 division championships. There will never be another Al Davis, and his legacy will live on forever.
Just win, baby.
Shoo.
Man,
That gives me
I
chills.
dig it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good, man. It's look, the guy is he's it. He's if there's a such thing as football immortality, it's Al Davis.
Yeah, he
right?
kind of stands alone at the top.
Absolutely. And so a couple things there. And that all sets up to this play is that number one of Al's proudest achievements, if you were to ask him or when he was interviewed, it was the fact that he presented 9 players into the Hall of Fame. Like that was a huge thing for him.
Yeah.
That he was the one that enshrined them and presented them.
Yes,
as players.
that was one of his biggest goals. You know, he wanted the greatest players in the game.
Absolutely. And so that wanting to set them up to be successful and wanting them to become the ultimate by getting into the Hall of Fame and taking the most out of getting the most out of their careers and their talent, it created this bond. It created this connectivity and the connection that he up to the day he died. He had a connectivity to his players that's also unmatched in NFL history.
Absolutely.
Like, you don't see connections. You see players and coaches and players and owners connect, but not like this. Not on this level.
It was more than just a connection. It was family.
It was family, exactly. And so kind of setting up the season a little bit. So in the 2011 season, the Raiders are coming off an 8-8 year. You know, we hadn't been good with any consistency since John Gruden had left.
Right.
Al was under a lot of scrutiny in terms of his draft picks, his terms of basically his personnel moves, the contracts he was awarding. There was a lot of criticism floating Al's way.
Right.
And coming off an 8-8 year, and now looking at what the team is assembled like in 2011, it's a pretty freaking talented football team.
Yeah,
and so,
absolutely.
You know, Jason Campbell is our quarterback. We got Michael Bush and Darren McFadden are running backs with Marcel Reese playing fullback.
Yep.
Denarius Moore is in there as a punt returner and wide receiver as a rookie. Hayward Bay, the famous, whether people thought it was right or wrong, not taking Michael Crabtree, but Hayward Bay was fast, right? And then Jacoby Ford, David Osbury's our tight end out of USC. On the defensive side of the ball, Michael Huff, which will come in later, Tyvon Branch. They draft DeMarcus Van Dyke, a fast cornerback out of Miami. Go figure. On the front of the line, you got Richard Seymour there.
Right.
John Henderson there came over from the Jaguars. Lamar Houston, Tommy Kelly. Like, anyways, you got a pretty talented football team.
Pretty
here.
good.
Pretty freaking good. So the Raiders start off the season with a huge win on the road at Denver. Okay, so they start off the year. They beat Denver 23-20, lose on the road against the Bills, but then beat the Jets on September 25th, 2011. I was there.
Nice.
I was there with my cousin Sonny and our dads.
Nice.
And our buddy Harley and some other friends of the family, Jimmy and some other folks there. But that was the last game that we attended with our dads. That was also the last home game Al Davis attended before he died.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of heartfelt moments there for us.
Yes.
Connected to that game. It was incredible. But anyways, and then the Raiders, so then they lose to the Patriots, which everybody did back then and kind of still do nowadays.
Right.
So we're 2-2.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Raiders are 2-2 as of October 9th going in to this game in Houston. So things are setting up to okay, we're kind of on a roll again.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackson is our head coach, and at the time he was coming off of being a fabulous offensive coordinator.
Yes.
We fired Tom Cable, brought in Hugh Jackson, and it was like we kind of had some momentum. There was a lot of hope and a lot of positivity going on around this football team during that time.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we're, like you said, we were 2-2. This next game was kind of a, which way is the pendulum going to swing? Are we going to head in? Because I think after this game, it was a 3-game homestand,
yes.
I think, afterwards. So you win this game and go home for 3 games with a 3-2 record, that's pretty good. It's
pretty good.
Yeah. So, because we were 8-8 the year before. So, hey, we can get on a roll here and get something going.
Absolutely.
But then, of course, October 8th, Al passes. The team, the nation, everybody, we have no time to really mourn or process what's just happened because we got to get on the field and play. So the game starts, and it was a pretty heartfelt moment of silence that the Texans organization gave Al. Got to give props to those guys.
Class move.
Yeah. Very, very class move, and we had to come out and try to just win, baby. So the game starts. I think we go 3 and out the first drive, and the Texans come down and score. Pretty much a majority of the game. It was a Texan beatdown. They were kind of whipping up on us pretty good. I think they doubled our yardage that we had for the whole game. They had 10 more first downs. They had half the penalties that we committed and 10 more minutes of possession time. So, it was all Texans, especially for the first half. Once you get into the fourth quarter, we hit. I think we did a 10-point.
We scored 10 points in the fourth quarter. I remember that.
Yeah, and we took the lead.
Yeah,
and so
because our defense was balling, we held them to 3 points or something too.
Yeah,
right?
well, back in those, Matt Schaub was the quarterback, over in Houston. And they were,
Andre Johnson and all them, they were good.
They were studs. Yeah, they. So we held them to 20 points going into this last drive,
and then there they come driving down the field, and and that was what was scary is that they came driving down the field, and you tell them.
Yeah, it was 1:50 left to go. They get the ball back, basically 2-minute drill, get the ball down there. They need a touchdown to win. There was no tying. We were up 25. We were up 25-20. So basically, they drive the ball down, use their timeouts, get down there, and they clock the ball with 6 seconds left to go, deep in our ends or deep in the red zone.
It's on the 5-yard line or something.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
It was way down there. I don't remember exactly where it was from.
Yes.
I guess you should know that. Doing a show like this, we should know exactly where it was.
Yeah, we probably should have looked that up.
I probably should have looked that up. I think it was the 5-yard line. But anyway, so Schaub rolls out. There was single coverage on, I forget what the tight end's name, probably another thing we should have looked up. There's single coverage by Mike Mitchell on the tight end.
It doesn't matter who was the
It doesn't matter who was there. It actually really was, because who wasn't there was Jerome Boyd.
Well, yeah.
Mitchell was supposed to double team. Is it Joel Dreesen, I want to say, was their tight end?
Yeah.
They were supposed to double team Joel Dreesen, and Mitchell looks over and goes, uh-oh, he's singled up. Boyd's not on the field. The 2 linemen, Seymour and Tommy Kelly, ran off the field, and Boyd was afraid that he was going to be the extra man on, so he ran off too.
Okay.
But he wasn't supposed to.
Yeah.
So there was 10 guys on defense for this last play.
Yeah, we were shorthanded. And like you said, Schaub rolled out, looked for a pass, and he had it. I can't remember who rushed up and
Branch. It was Tyvon Branch.
Branch came up, and he came in flying and was about to lay a smack on him because I think Schaub wanted to run it into the end zone.
Exactly. Because Branch was like, he's going to earn it. If he's not going to run it in here on us.
Exactly.
He's going to have to deal with me first. And
exactly.
And Branch was a stud back then. Branch would have destroyed Matt Schaub.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So he was forced to pass, and our boy Huff came in.
Famously.
Yes.
Out of nowhere, number 24.
Yeah, all-star Michael Huff comes in.
I'm telling you. Michael Huff, man, he was one of those guys, again, I feel like I feel like if the coaching would have been more consistent throughout his career, he would have been one of those guys that would have rep number 24 at a much higher level than what we're used to. You know, I mean, I feel like for a lot of these players, a lot of these Raider players from this era, there was a lot of talent on this football. Heck, Marcel Reese, one of my all-time favorites.
Yes.
I think should have been way more than what he was. But anyway, but Mike jumps
with
in
all
there.
with all the coaching turnovers and stuff they had, this group of Raiders, they had a hard time because they were, bringing in new coaching staff every year or two. And, it was hard to, get set up.
It was volatile. And that's the stuff about Al that was like, I think the fairness of any of the criticism is just the volatility of the franchise back then.
Sure.
But but here comes Huffy though, man, and picks that thing off.
Yes.
And man, it was just, it's big enough when that the Raiders won, that they just won, baby, when Al was gone. But the fact that there was 10 guys on the field, and of course the immediate response is,
Al was the 11th guy.
Al was 11.
Yeah.
Right? Al was 11. So let's listen to it. I got a little bit of a mashup. This is Greg Papa with the call and just a couple little quick hits from some of the coaches.
Never lose the game. It's all right here. Matt Schaub out of the gun. First and goal. Back. Final play. Time. He can run for it. He pumps now. He throws. It's intercepted by Michael Huff. The Oakland Raiders have won the game.
Hey, just win, baby. Just win, baby. Just like I told you, I know he loves you guys. Just like he loves his coaching staff and his organization. I tell you this, Al Davis had his hands on that ball, man. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yes, sir. Had his hand on that ball.
Al Davis had his hands on that ball, man.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, man. Hey, so speaking of that, let me just go ahead and just jump right into it. I've got Hugh Jackson's post-game press conference in the locker room.
Okay.
It's pretty emotional, man. This is good stuff. I was a Hugh Jackson fan, man. I liked Hugh. I think he didn't crap the bed until after the season was over, and I'll get to that in a minute. But during this time, he was a fantastic coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was really a pretty amazing mind in terms of offensive football. Any of the success that Marcel Reese and those guys had, it was because of Hugh. I mean, Hugh was the one that was being versatile. And, the criticism came from his personnel choices and trading for Carson Palmer. And again, I'll get to that in a minute. But in this moment, he was perfect. He did wonderful. And so let's listen to him talking to the Raiders after the game.
Listen up. It's been a hard 24 hours, and I've let on to you guys. Losing that man hurt me more than you know. But you know what? Just like I told you, I know he loves you guys. Just like he loves his coaching staff and his organization. And that man, that was a hell of a job by you, Michael Huff. Yes, But I tell you this, Al Davis had his hands on that ball, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Al
sir.
Davis had his hand on that ball. Listen, team, listen to me. Please, listen to me. You got to trust me. You got to just keep playing. And that's what we did. We just kept playing. It didn't go right. And there's so many things to fix. It didn't go right. But you know what your man did? You kept fighting because you know what? That's what that man will want you to do. That's what Raiders do. That's what Raiders do. It ain't going to always be pretty. I never told you it wouldn't be hard, and I never told you it'd be pretty. But you know what? There's nothing like winning. Nothing like winning. You guys deserve it, man. You busted your ass. You have Victory Monday. Okay? Because you guys have earned it. You guys have earned it. But listen to me when I tell you this. We got to come. Listen. Chill. We got to come back with more resolve and more effort than what we had in this game. Everybody got me? But we kept playing. That's what we're really all about, man. That's what Raiders do. We got some work to do, but you know what? Everybody else does too. Yes, sir. Last time I checked, we're 3-2, and we're heading home, and we got 3 at home. Yes, sir. We got 3 at home. The next one's going to be Cleveland. Yes, sir. Okay? And we got to get ready, man. Yeah. Let's get better, and let's get ready. Here we go. Let's give thanks.
Everybody get great win, fellas. Great win, baby.
Again, guys, just a moment of silence. Just a moment of silence. Al, we love you. We know that you're watching over this team. We love you. And we're going to keep playing. We're going to keep playing like Raiders for you. We're going to keep honoring this man all year for what he's done for us because he's touched each and every last one of us. Let's bow.
Golly,
that was sweet, man.
He did good, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought he handled that brilliantly. And the emotion, obviously you can hear it in him.
Yes.
But you hear it all around the room. These are, as the kids say, grown-ass men.
Yes.
These are big, tough football players. These are the toughest men in the world.
Yes.
And they're blubbering.
Yeah.
Like, if that doesn't tell you what kind of connection.
Yeah, to
Al
circle
Davis-
back. Yeah, circle back what we said. I mean, it's a freaking family, man. Raider. I mean, this is more than just a game. This is more than just a team. This is a freaking family.
It's a freaking family. This is an 82-year-old man.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It was like that they had this connectivity to, and and that was one of the things that people would criticize Al about. Oh, he's disconnected and he's lost touch. You went, well, he sure as heck didn't lose it with the players.
No, he didn't.
He didn't lose touch with them.
Uh-uh.
Every time Marcel Reese entered a game after that, always had his jersey up with his Al shirt on underneath.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And even still, you'll still see him every once in a while wearing that Al stuff.
Yeah.
It's
and they still, they always have the sticker on the back of the helmet,
helmets,
But, so yeah.
But that was his choice, though, to what he was going to wear.
Right,
You know what I mean? Don't wear it under his pads, like to wear an Al shirt. Like, it just... Anyways, you can't replicate that, and it was awesome, and it was such a great moment, man.
Yes.
Such a fun moment, and I thought they had the right people, not only the right players, but the right coaches at the time, and it was a good moment, man. It was pretty special.
Fun. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. Now the downside to this, and I'll end this on a little bit of a down note. I hate to, but we got a few minutes left here. So after this, it all kind of goes to pot because I don't curse on this show, so I'm not gonna say what it really went to. But so in week 6, the next week in Cleveland, Jason Campbell breaks his collarbone and is out for the season. Hugh Jackson trades for Carson Palmer, gives away all of the draft picks.
Can I just stop you right there?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've really expressed it on the show. I'm a new Raider fan, but I've been a football fan my entire life. And for personal reasons, I hate Carson Palmer more than any player in NFL history. And it's a personal hate. It's not. He was a fine quarterback when he started his career. He decided to be the pick 6 king. When he came to the Raiders.
Gosh, yeah.
But yeah, and I read an article too that in the last 20 years, that trade for Carson Palmer is the NFL's greatest bust. I can't remember what website I saw that on, but it was he was voted the #1 biggest bust. Terrible decision, and he proved it. But
it was awful.
But I hate that guy.
You hate that guy?
Yeah, I hate him so much. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Sorry about that.
It's okay. So it was pretty bad. So they kind of cobbled together and this is the thing that was so devastating about this particular season too, was that everybody else finished with the same record we did and won the division on tiebreakers.
Nice.
If the Raiders would have won one more game. We lost 4 of our last 5. If they'd have won one game, we'd have won the division and been in the playoffs. But we couldn't get our crap together to win one game.
Gosh.
And so, anyway, I'll never forget at the end of the year, and one of these days I'll pull that audio up. We'll play it on Raiders Fan Radio or something. At the end of the year, Hugh Jackson in his postseason press conference, or getting ready to go into the whatever you call it, their closing press conference.
Sure.
Basically pounds the table and says, I'm going to have more hand in this team than ever before. I'm going to have more control over the players. I'm going to take control of this. I'm going to take control of that. Declaring himself king of the Raiders because Al Davis died. But guess what? Guess who he forgot to ask first? Mark Davis, the guy that actually owns the
team. Yeah.
I remember watching that press conference going, this is a dead man walking. What is he doing?
Yeah.
He got so full of himself so fast, and it completely erased all the wonderful things that he did prior in that one moment. And look at what's happened to him since.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Where is he now?
He evaporated. You saw him on Hard Knocks last year.
Oh, my gosh. He's a dummy.
He was the worst.
Yeah, he's a dummy.
He was the worst. And I feel bad for the guy, and I don't want to use this as a platform to crap talk Hugh Jackson to celebrate Al, but I just do want to highlight the fact that this is what happens when you buy into yourself.
Yes.
Stay humble, friends.
Yep.
Don't buy into yourself.
Yep.
If he'd have stayed in his role,
yes,
who knows where this team could have gone? Because they had talent. He was a great coach.
Yes. They
were riding some serious momentum. He did the trade and all that, but I just think there could have been a lot there. Anyway, so I'll get off that soapbox. But this was a very significant moment in Raider history. It was such a nice way to kind of tip a cap to Al.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So, all right, you got anything else on it?
I mean, I could make a whole show about bashing Carson Palmer. You got me fired up now. my face is red and everything. Like
so maybe we'll do the next significant moment, or we'll do
it ain't significant.
No, when he's gone.
Oh yeah. Well,
when he got sent to Arizona.
In the same article, when they were talking about Palmer, he got benched, because they brought in Andy Dalton, right? I'm talking about the Bengals,
Cincinnati. Yeah, and then he pouted.
And he pouted, and he sat on, and so he sat on the bench, and he didn't want to play, didn't want to suit up.
He retired,
and he retired, and so the Raiders traded to get a retired guy.
We traded all the draft picks too.
All the draft picks.
Yeah. I know. All
yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. Let's stop talking about this.
Yeah, because it's turning into the wrong moment.
Yeah. We love you, Al, and we hate you, Carson Palmer. And
thank you, Michael Huff.
Thank you, Michael Huff. We love you. There you go.
We'll see you next time on Tales from the Nation. Go Raiders.
Woohoo.